Hi, welcome to the DIY Photo Organising podcast, focusing on topics to help you with your photo management. I'm Chantal from Photos in Order.
And I'm Fiona from Photo Helper. Hi Chantal, how
Hello.
are you?
Good.
That's good.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Since it's been a while that we launched our podcast with the 5 golden rules, we thought we'd have a look back and talk about some of the highlights of these rules and really just give you an opportunity to get a snapshot of everything in one place really quickly and sort of, just get a booster.
Good. So, before we start though,
Yes.
we'd love to read out a review that we received from Hardwork Darla. She says, I love that they started their series with photo backups. There's a lot to learn with digital photos, and they make a good point that people just assume backups are being taken care of somehow, but they aren't. So I also like that they talk about Apple and other software too. Photo organising goodness in little bites.
Oh, thanks,
Sweet.
Darla.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
that's sweet.
Before we start, let's share a few stats.
Well, how long has it been? It's been well over a year now that we've been recording.
It's been over a year.
Which is exciting. So it's just been really encouraging that we've had some great responses, some great contact that people have made with us with personal, questions relating to their, personal examples of what's going on with them. But how many listeners have we had overall, Chantal?
Around 9,000.
That's exciting. And
thanks, everyone.
Yay! Thank you for caring about your photos. It really is encouraging and it's lovely. But what it means most of all is that there's a lot of people out there that just need, that are overwhelmed and really don't know where to start, and they're reaching out for some help. So we're really thrilled that we've been able to, provide some direction and some support to you, which is great.
So is there a topic, the most popular one?
Yes, when we have gone through and had a look back on some of our stats, we have seen that most of you are most interested in digital organising. So that seems to be the hardest hit topic on how to tackle this issue with the digital world. And it's understandable.
Yeah, of course.
And even since we started the podcast, there's so many changes within this industry. It is constant, with upgrades of version changes within programs that we use regularly to new programs that come out oh my goodness, it really is. It's an ever-changing little piece of the world in this space of digital photo organising, and that has been definitely our most popular. What else have we had?
Backing up. Yeah, that was a popular episode. And also how to create a photo hub.
Yes.
How do I get it all together in one place, and how do I back it up?
So again, all focusing on this digital area.
Yes, which is, given the time we live in, that's
exactly.
Logical.
For sure. So I guess what it really tells us is that the topic of photo organising is definitely a concern for people.
Yeah.
So, we're not going anywhere. We are sticking around. We'll be with you for the year. We've got a lot of exciting things to come, but we thought we'd share a little bit of what we've been covering. So please reach out to us on social media or directly if you'd like to, even if there's something specific with your own setup, because that is definitely the biggest thing you can take away from this whole digital world, is that no one thing fits every person, because there are so many variables. So if it's something we haven't covered, please do reach out, and we'd love to either just respond back to you directly or cover something on a future podcast too.
Absolutely.
And share it out with some friends and family, if because it is such a such an area of concern. Everyone has digital access to photos and things like that. So if it's something you can share with others that might help them, please do.
Yeah, very good. So let's start with our 5 golden rules.
Yes.
What are the highlights? So just to remind everyone of the 5 golden rules that we came up with. So the rule number 1 is backing up. That's the most important.
Yes.
Because if you don't back up, if you lose your photos, you don't have anything to organise. So
exactly.
we don't want that.
Exactly. Yes.
Know your why is our rule number 2. Creating a hub is rule number 3. Then followed by number 4, which is sorting and organising, a huge step. And finally, rule number 5 is do something, take action, just start.
Exactly. All right. So in this episode, we're just going to jump through all of them for you really quickly, so that you've got a bit of a refresher and some encouragement to know that this is possible. So golden rule number 1, backing up. So what we thought we'd just sort of give a bit of a highlight is what you can be practically doing in this golden rule of backing up. So the first thing is decide on your preferred backup service.
Yeah.
Have a look around, and there's a lot of them out there, but just make a decision on what you're going to use and what you're going to do. Then subscribe to that service. If it's an online service, if it's needing for you to buy some kind of hardware to do that backup, make that step happen. Then block out some time in your diary to regularly do your backup.
Yeah.
Just make an appointment with yourself. Just pop it in there like you do any other important appointments and get it in your diary. And then miraculously plug in the devices and back them up. So please, please, please. I mean, I've had some really a heartbreaking, contact by a client over the Christmas holiday and lost photos.
Oh no. Oh dear.
And it's just, back up. And there wasn't a backup. And it really is. It really is. So please, please, please. That's why it's our number 1. All right.
Exactly.
Moving on to our number 2.
Know your why.
Yes.
Why would you go through the pain of organising all your photos? So there's a whole lot of different reasons, and it's important that you take a moment to get really clear what your outcomes should be or what you want it to be. Do you want to do photo books or maybe slideshows and videos, home movies, whatever? Do you want to add metadata? Do you want to use things like facial recognition and whatnot to make it a searchable collection? How far do you want to go? What do you want? What do you need? Gifts. Do you want to create gifts with your photos? That might be a goal or a why. Or also, you might want to tell stories with your photos and pass them on as a legacy. And you don't want to pass on 100,000 photos. Nobody wants that. So you got to think about what you really want to do with your collection. And there might be more than one outcome that you want to achieve, and that's fine. It doesn't have to be one big one. It can be several ones. And we always encourage you to write these reasons down. Maybe you have a little photo logbook, as we call it, or just a nice, lovely notebook where you can write down everything photo related. And it's good to write your reasons and your vision down so you can always go back to it, because you will need it later in the process. It will help you to make decisions, and you'll always come back to that. And it can change over time.
Yeah.
To make it more real, you could share your why with somebody and tell them about that, because that makes you more accountable, and chances increase that you follow through. And maybe just sit down and think about, write down a plan, how you could make that happen. How can you achieve these outcomes?
Yep, exactly. So the golden rule number 3 is to create a hub. So the first thing to do with this is to know that a hub is one location
Mm-hmm.
that all your photos will sit. So that's as simple as it is. It's just one central location that we call our hub, our photo hub.
Mm-hmm.
That could be on a computer, it could be on an external hard drive. It's definitely something that we are saying it is the hub, which is where your original photos are going to be sitting, is not in the cloud. So we just wanted to point that out here. That can be a backup, the cloud,
Mm-hmm.
but we're talking about the hub, which is your photo hub where all of your original sized photos will sit.
Yeah.
So make that decision as to where that is going to be. And then we need you to decide what those photos are going to sit in.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is this going to be a database that these photos will sit in? Or is this going to be some kind of a file structure in, say, Explorer or Finder, depending if you're Mac or Windows, that is just a set of folders and the photos are in there? Or are you going to be using, say, some kind of a database type structure to pop these photos in? And that could be, as an example, something like Apple Photos, Google Photos. It could be something like Lightroom, where it's a catalogue of photos. So we just wanted to really make sure that this is the time where you think about this. This will be so beneficial to get this step clear for yourself. To create a hub, you need to first decide where they're going to sit and then what it's going to sit in.
Mm-hmm.
And once you've made those decisions, seriously, it's so much. The rest of this step of organizing your photos is just going to be so much clearer and easier. It's just follow the steps.
Yeah.
So look, and this part I think is probably maybe some of the biggest decisions, because there's a lot of options out there, and we find when we get new clients that this is the problem that they've got.
Yes,
because they've spread out over all of these different things. They've got some in files, some in, some just in a Apple thing, some sitting in a Google photo. They don't know if they're in Google or Apple, or are they in both, or are they sitting on their drive? And so once you decide what your end is going to be and where it's going to be sitting, but what that one thing will be, then really, I mean, oh goodness, your life will change.
It will.
It will. It really will. So look, this in the creating the hub. Once you've decided where it's going to sit, if it's on an external hard drive or on your computer, and then what the photo's going to sit inside. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So that we're making it sound like a simple decision, and it's just just make that decision. But really seriously, once that decision's made, oh goodness me, new world.
Yeah.
So once you've made that decision to create a hub, you're going to hunt and gather all your photos. So that's just digital, USBs, CDs, anything on an external hard drive, on phones, on devices, on computers. They can sit in so many places nowadays.
Yeah.
So please do not organize. This is not the step for organizing. Just gather your photos. And that also includes your physical photos. So we're sort of putting it all together in this quick summary of our 5 golden rules. So, creating a hub would be, it's the physical version of that. So everything in one place. That would be all your photo albums. Grab the loose photos out of, different drawers and cupboards and under parts of, wherever. Put them all in one place. And once you've done that, we need to bring back in that backup.
Yes.
Just do a backup of those. And even if you can get to this golden rule number 3, you're just steps ahead. All right, exciting. Number 4,
the sorting and organising.
Yes.
And as we mentioned before, that was the at least for the digital photos, that was the most popular episode. So clearly there's a need for that.
Yeah.
And as Fiona just said before, once you've made that decision about where your hub is and what the photos are going to sit in, this sorting and organizing step will be so much easier.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means that you move from one app or software or system to a new one that you might like better for what you plan, and that's not always easy. So that can be a bit of a tricky step, but remember, we're here to help. So if you've got questions around that, get in touch with us anytime, and we can hopefully help you or send you in the right direction, because again, there's so many variables and options. It's crazy. And so it really all depends on what you've chosen to go with, and also on your why. That's where your why comes back in. What do you want to achieve? That's that's important to know, because that not everything you
could do.
You don't need to do.
Yeah.
You want to keep it as simple as possible, because nobody has time to do all the options that we could do, because you might not need them. So this will determine how that sorting and organizing looks for you. This will determine what sort of metadata, for example, you're going to add to your photos. Do you want to add people's names, events? Do you want to choose your favorites and rate your photos somehow? You could add location or captions and stories, all these things. That's what happened in the sorting and organizing step. And the metadata is a huge topic in itself. So if you're interested in that one, go back to episode 9, Understanding Metadata. That's the one to listen into and to learn more about that. And again, it will depend on what system you're using, whether you use Windows or Mac, let alone a database management system. It will be totally different. So we can't go into that. That would require hours. And that's way too much information. So, yeah, this step sounds like, this was kind of short, but that's where you will spend a lot of time.
Absolutely. And again, once you've done that creation of a hub and you've made that decision, this is the fun part. This is the fun bit where you really can, those are my favorites, and I'm going to make a photo book, so I need those ones, or or just tagging people is it's fantastic to see that end result where you really can just whether you want to find a photo of someone that you remembered, or you want to share something with them, and it's the fun bit.
Very good.
And that brings us to our golden rule number 5, which is do something, please, take action. I know we cover, just do a backup, know your why, create a hub, and sort and organize. It sounds like it's going to take an afternoon, but we know it's not. And we know that this is a huge job and a big undertaking for some people, and it's very overwhelming. But just start. Please start. Make a list of where you want to start. Even just to think, okay, get a backup.
Yeah.
Make a decision on this. Research this. Buy this or something like that. Do the backup. Even if you so when we're saying do something, please just take some action, because it's like, anything that we do, if we can read as many books as we want to about a topic, but until we actually do the thing, it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's the same with fitness or health or parenting or something like that. We can read the best books in the world, but until you take action, it's really not going to have any impact. So, what else can we do to do something, Chantal?
One of my favorite is that schedule it, set up a time to do whatever you plan to do.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, you might not be at the beginning of that process. You might have already started it. So your backup system might be fine and all good. You might be stuck in the organizing step, maybe. Who knows? So wherever you're at, but book an appointment with yourself and block some time out, because from experience, if it's not in your diary, it's not going to happen. Even if
true.
it is, it's sometimes,
Yeah.
you just ignore things.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so
I'll
true.
do it next week. But chances that it's actually going to happen is much higher than, when it's in your schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
Yeah.
So another thing you could do is just start together. As you walk around the house, or you see something, just grab a box, or pick a space, and even that is doing something, which is really good, really good. Don't underestimate little actions like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
or even a small action to check how much free space you've got on your computer, or on your external drive, or whether you need a new external drive, maybe. I've had clients, they had to buy a new computer because it just ran out of space, and it was like, in computer terms, a dinosaur, like 10 years old or so.
Yeah.
It probably won't do the job anymore that you need it for. Because photo hubs, they become pretty big pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So maybe just look at that. Look at the health of your computer to start with.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if in doubt, maybe grab yourself a glass of wine and just have a think about it. We were joking about that before, but no, really, it is something that we're passionate about, to help you just really, take some action.
Yeah.
Do something, and yeah, just enjoy it. You're listening to a podcast about photo organizing because you want to do something with your photos. So we really encourage you, take that step.
Yeah.
Take that step.
Totally.
And also, so please don't forget to check out the show notes and the links. We do have a cheat sheet about the 5 golden rules that's free, of course. You can just pop your details in and we'll send it off to you. You can print it out, just keep it somewhere to say, okay, this year I'm going to be doing something. I'm going to make progress. So yeah, we encourage you to do that.
Very good.
Yeah, so if you've got any suggestions,
so as always, if you want us to talk about a specific topic, just pop over to Facebook or Instagram and send us a message, or get in touch with either of us directly, and we'll do our best to help you. And I'm Chantal from Photos in Order.
And I'm Fiona from Photo Helper. So thanks for tuning in, and until next time.